Good afternoon from Caesars in Las Vegas. I'm Ryan Green. Welcome to Data Cloud Now. I'm joined by Torsten Grabs, Director of Product Management for Snowflake, along with Joe Nolte, AI and MDM Architect for Allegis Group. With its network of specialized companies, provide a full suite of complementary talent solutions that solves nearly every workforce challenge. This empowers business success while consistently delivering an unsurpassed quality experience. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Ryan.
So Torsten, to start with, Snowpark is one of our key features. Can you provide a quick overview for the audience watching? And what is Snowflake announcing around Snowpark for Python specifically, and what does this mean for customers?
Yeah, great question. So we're very excited to continue our journey around Snowpark. So we've started with language support for Scala and Java, and we've worked on the underlying infrastructure now for a couple of years already. And now the next big step for us is to make Python available in the overall Snowpark infrastructure. And really two pieces to that. The first one is building on that infrastructure that we've worked on for so long. Now we're making Python available as a natively supported runtime in Snowflake Compute on the same warehouse infrastructure that runs your regular Snowflake queries. And then we're complementing that on the client side with a set of SDKs that give you a very fluent developer experience for those that are familiar with data frame concepts that will resonate very, very well. So we're very excited about that, obviously, and also the Python community that you can now tap into with all the libraries and the open source packages that you can now run natively supported on Snowflake. And we're going to start the public preview today for that. So
you know, it's an exciting next chapter. You heard it all here at Snowflake Summit. Joe, from your perspective, how has Allegis leveraged Snowpark for Python to help push the business forward?
Well, what we've done in preview, private preview, now public preview, is we've looked at what we have in-house, models, pipelines, things like that, and we've started looking at how we can then take what's going to be available in Snowpark for Python and adapt those, right? So we're looking at new architectures, how it simplifies our architectures, how it makes it easier for data scientists to do their jobs, easier path to production. I can leave a Python programmer in their notebook, they can crank out their code and they can hand it off and we can run it through some ML or DevOps type of stuff where we can change the import functions to meet the stored procedure format and then throw the wrapper around it. We can throw it onto Snowflake and then kick it off with one of our ETL tools, right? So it makes their development easier and faster. Python helps us do a lot of things, right? We do a lot of data science on vector space and nearest neighbor type of calculations, and we do some linear algebra. Well, Python's going to make that linear algebra a lot easier. Right now, they're doing it in straight SQL. They can do it, but it would be way easier for them to do it with Python. And Python opens up a lot more mathematical operations for us to be able to do that type of work. So recommendations and things like that coming out in near real time.
You know, it's all about driving impact. Torsten, from your perspective, how does Snowpark further and enable collaboration?
Yeah, I think, Joe, you were touching on some of that already. Yeah. If you think about like data scientists working on building a machine learning model, some of the things that I've heard that they often struggle with is to actually roll that out into a production environment successfully, right? And now with Snowpark, that becomes much, much easier. We are providing actually a client-side development environment that gives you exactly the same libraries and packages that we also have pre-installed for you on the server side. So that will make it easier for data scientists to roll their models forward from experimentation into the production environment. And then also there's collaboration, right? So you have data scientists that want to collaborate with ML engineers or with data engineers, right? And they may not necessarily speak the same programming languages as the data scientists. Now, with the multi-language support that you're getting with Snowpark, it becomes so much easier to interact with all these other people in your organization because you can start building something in Python, but then wrap it so that it is accessible through a SQL surface area or accessible from Scala or Java, right? So, and that makes all of this much, much easier and hopefully also helps then with moving some of those machine learning artifacts from experimentation into production.
I mean, I can hear the collaboration taking part around us at Snowflake Summit. It's all coming to life. Joe, I want to stay on this concept of collaboration as it relates to that in the partnership with Snowflake. What excites you most now about the future in this next chapter?
Well, what really excites me is I know that the Snowflake team will dive into a problem with us. We've had two pipelines that we've built and we've used the Snowflake team to help us. One of them we used with the Snowflake IO connector from Beam. So that vector data that I talked about. So we worked with the Snowflake team to figure out how to stream that data in. Now that data allows us to do real-time type of data science predictions and recommendations, and that will only get faster with Snowpark and Python. But what's really great is I know I can pick up the phone, call Snowflake and say, hey, this isn't running like I expect it at all, right? You're not going to look at Snowflake's not going to look at my Python code and say, you should write it this way, but you will tell me, hey, that's not going to execute on our architecture because of the way it runs. You may want to think about doing it in a different way. And I know that I will get that support because I've had 2 successful collaborations, just my team, in the 18 months that I've worked at Allegis. And I know our other teams in our enterprise data group have had very successful collaborations with Snowflake. So that's why it's important. That's where I think it will allow us to expand and be able to do things faster, better, and a little smarter and a little easier for our data scientists.
It's an exciting next chapter indeed. Torsten, Joe, thank you so much for joining me on Data Cloud Now. We'll see you soon.